navijači in podporniki nogometnega kluba Tabor Sežana, dobrodošli znova na stadionu Rajko Štolpa v Sežani. Danes je pred nami obračun 12. kroga druge slovenske nogometne lige, kjer v Sežani gostimo moštvo Brinje Grosuplje. V preteklem krogu so naši nogometaši iz težkega gostovanja v Beltincih prinesli domov vse 3 točke, danes pa izčaka nova zahtevna preizkušnja proti moštvu, ki v letošnji sezoni ni še doživel poraza. Pa poglejmo, kjer je današnjega srečanja. Domači trener Matič Darjan, mu izrekamo dobrodošlico v Sežani, se je odločil za naslednjo postavo. Številka 1, Žerjali Denis. 4, Mejčev Nikola. 5, Čandič Tarik. 11, Karole. 19, Hodžič Adis. 23, Briški Mihael. 25, Stančič Dino. 27, Medic Slaček Mateuš. 30, Rose Federico. 49, Sever Leon in 88, Gorun Uroš. Na klopi za rezervne igralce so 22, Krmišek Žiga, 6, Žalbi Luka, 9, Fernandez Petru, 10, Oštrek Stjepan, 14, Denali Jones, 17, Aščič Pijaža Martin, 20, Kranjc Jan, 24, Makambur John in 91, Pantelič Tilen. Ekipa Brinje Grosuplje nastopa v naslednji postavi. 12, Drobec Urban. 20, Matko Mateuš. 8, Kene Marcel. 2, Penkič Kevin. 24, Črne Gašper. 23, Jušnik Nejc. 6, Srbin Vinko. 14, Kovač Jan. 10, Jovičevič Nikola. 17, Levanič Tim in 21, Maher Rok. Na klopi 25, Crnc Jaka. 7, Hojč Vit. 15, Lašnja Nejc. 11, Zrnec Nik. 3, Tomšič Mark. 9, Prodanovič Patrik. 18, John Hridevič Vinej. 4, Vukelič Dušan in 13, Čančar Ivano. Sodnik današnjega srečanja je gospod Mertik Bojan, njegova pomočnika Trženjak Patrik in Dovnik Isto. Delegat današnjega srečanja je gospod Pokovec Vinko. Tudi letos se zahvaljujemo vsem sponzorjem kluba. V letošnji sezoni vam predstavljamo novega globalnega partnerja in sponzorja kluba Velsen Kapital. Družba Velsen Kapital se ukvarja z vlaganjem, izgradnjo in razvoj na področju hotelirstva, informacijske tehnologije ter športnih objektov ter dogodkov. Svojim vložkom razvoj kluba in izkušnjami na področju organizacije predstavlja Velsen Kapital, enega pomembnejših partnerjev nadaljnjega razvoja kluba ter tudi lokalnega okolja. Sponzor dresa članskega moštva kluba je Verone Kapital, organizacija s sedežem v Združenih državah Amerike, ki se osredotoča na alternativne priložnosti predvsem v športni in zabavni industriji. Našo nogometno zgodbo podpirajo naslednji sponzorji: Avtovleka Žerjal, David Žerjal SP, Biostile, PGM Inženjering, Karsus, Lančar Žerjavi, Empel, Grasinvest, Akvoda Plus in Intech Group. Partneri kluba so avtobusni prevoz, Autoekspert, Avtoprenova, Gradbena DO, Gostilnica in pizzerija Pri Maju, restauracije Mirec in Spark,
Well, dobro večer, good evening, everyone, or dober dan, good day, good afternoon, depending on wherever you are in the world. I'm Kyle Ship here to join you for this huge game. I don't think huge is putting it too much. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic in talking about how big this game is, as tonight we've got Tabor versus Brinje, as Tabor making a few changes. They're looking to move towards the top tonight with a big movement forward, as not his first game, but the first game that I get a chance to join you guys is Darian Matic, the new skipper in charge for Tabor. Boy, the Red and Blacks bringing on the 42-year-old Matic. He was born the same year I was, so I guess I'm trying to make him younger, just like I try to keep making myself younger. But Matic, most recently coming to Tabor from Triglav Kranyi, has had a lot of success at Triglav Kranyi, in seeing that one of the things that he did is he took them straight to the second position. He was an assistant before he became the man in charge. As the man in charge, took them from 12th and 23 and 24 all the way up to second, and just 1 point away from promotion. And in the promotion playoff, 1 point away from automatic promotion. In the promotion playoff, they took a 3-1 victory at home. Boy, and you know that they were already dreaming of what the first division would look like, and then lose 4-1 on the road. They lose 5-4 in aggregate. But taking a look at some of the things that he did last year with Triglav, 63 points, 20 wins, 3 draws, 7 losses. As you know, over the course of several years, if you've had a chance to follow Tabor, is then they haven't lost a lot of games. They also have a lot of draws. Don't see that a lot out of Matic's team. So going to be interesting to see. One of the really interesting things as well is last year Triglav scored 72 goals, highest in the league by 12 goals. They didn't just squeak out the scoring title; they dominated in scoring. As in the first 2 games that we have seen, Matic has already brought 2 goals. I say Matic. I know that other men are the ones that are putting the ball in the back of the net, but looking to see if maybe he can be the spark that really kicks up the scoring, as Tabor have been very good defensively and have just missed their opportunities, it looks like, at times on the offensive side. A 39 goal differential, 72 goals for last year, only 33 goals allowed, which would make sense. Obviously, if you're sitting second in the league, this is a team that I think this is the type of team that can continue to put up those great goal differential numbers. We've seen a lot of near misses. Maybe if we can turn some of those near misses into some dominant back of the net, see a movement continuing up the table, as the table that Matic steps into is an interesting one. NAFTA have taken over the top spot. Brinje now with 2 draws, as Brinje's last game out was a draw, 1-1 draw with Decani. And so Brinje winds up dropping a spot, and they're now 2 points behind NAFTA. Triglav is in third with 25 points, just 1 point ahead of Tabor. And here's the deal: is, boy, you want to talk about a tough run for Tabor. Obviously, it started out with NAFTA, then the victory against, a loss against NAFTA, the victory against Beltinci, now playing Brinje, and then they're going to play Triglav on November the 2nd, and that's a huge game. So 1 week from Sunday, so they have a little bit of time. I say they have a little bit of time to rest. However, October 29th, this coming Wednesday, is they play Primorje in the Slovenian Cup. So wrap your head around. They go from NAFTA, and then Brinje was, excuse me, not Brinje, Bilje, it was in there as well. Beltinci, and then Brinje, then Primorje, and then Triglav. If you want to take an entire season and crunch it down into about 3 weeks, this is what's going on with Tabor right now, as the gentlemen looking to really work through this season, and an interesting time, as the change at the top of the team happens. If they could really maybe change some tactics and make life even more difficult on some of these other teams, could be an opportunity. You guys have listened to me. I am an eternal optimist. I'm kind of an annoying optimist. Could be an opportunity to really throw a wrench into other teams' plans as maybe they are preparing for Tabor. Maybe they aren't exactly certain what they're going to see. As boy, the teams taking the field. I'm gonna let you know who the starters are. As we're gonna start off with Tabor. In goal is gonna be the man number 1, Dennis Zeriali. And the defense is going to be made up of the men that you have seen all year long, and they've done a great job. Number 4, Nikola Nechev. Number 23, Mihail Brishki. Number 88, Yarosh Koron. Running up and down the side is going to be number 19, Adish Hojic. He's been very good lately. Would love to see him continue to find some joy up and down that sideline. He's going to be flanked on the other side by number 27, Mateusz Medic Slachik. In the midfield, number 49, Leon Sever, and number 5, Tariq Chandich. And looking to really spark the attack is going to be number 25, Dino Stancic, number 11, Keenan Carroll, and number 30, Federico Rose, who is just scoring. I would love to say scoring at will. I think if he was scoring at will, he would probably have a whole bunch more opportunities here, as he'd probably have about 27 goals right now. But, boy, really doing a great job putting the ball in the back of the net for Tabor, and would love to continue to see him get some great chances. A physical player up top for Tabor. For Brinje, the keeper is going to be number 12, Urban Trobic. Number 2, Kevin Binkich. Number 6, Vinko Skrbin. Number 8, Marcel Keeney. Number 10, Nikola Jovicevic. Number 14, Jan Kovac. Number 17, Teen Levanich. Number 20, Mateusz Matko. Number 21, Rock Maurer. Number 23 is going to be your captain, Nick Pushnik. And number 24, Gasper Cerny. As about to get underway, hey, I wanted to make sure that I mentioned this. I talked about the opportunity coming up against Primorye. Also, hey, don't forget about the opportunity to have your logo, a business logo, a personal logo, whatever you got, and put that on the front of a shirt for a pretty big game. As that's gonna be a huge cup game. As you look, this might be one of the better cup games that happen all week long. Or excuse me, all round long, as there have been some already, and those were not fantastic. You've had some second and first against some fourth division teams that made it through. Boy, I think all eyes are going to be on this match, though, as Tabor already with one defeat of a first league club. Can they be the Giant Killers? I think I'm considering doing it as well. I'll have to reveal that to you guys maybe a little bit later if we get a stoppage. I don't want to hold it up. As been a little bit, so I got to make sure that we get the scoreboard up and rolling. I'm gonna make sure that we hit start right on time. You guys, I appreciate your help. Hey, I saw that somebody was here for their very first time in the live stream. Excited that you're here. Thanks for joining us. As we have a good time on the live stream. I'm gonna do a lot of yelling and screaming. I'm wearing my Tabor red and black. Nobody ever said that I had to be impartial, as I am a part of the Tabor community and doing this because I absolutely love this team and love the community and love the direction that I think we're going. As we're about to get started off here, and I have returned to the 45-minute clock here. I tried to do something a little bit different against NAFTA the last time that I was with you guys. That went horribly wrong, and so I want to make sure that I know I have no part in the wins and losses, but I want to make sure that I'm at least returning to what it is that that I was doing well the first time. As still holding off a little bit, waiting for the whistle to go, and haven't quite got that okay just yet. Hey, do me a favor, if you are new to the stream, let us know where you're watching from. That's a cool part of this community. For those of you that are new to the stream, this is this is a one-man show, so I'm going to do my best to make sure that, I get the clock started on time. I'm going to make sure that we are having no technical issues, but we're going to get started off fast and furious as Brinje coming through the middle, and they're going to get stopped. Chandich now on the ball. Chandich going to move the ball down to the near screen. Brishki is just going to slow things down a little bit, get it back to Yarosh Koron. As Nechev back to Koron. Brinje not in any interest to press high just yet. Obviously, only 30 seconds into the game. We're gonna wait and see as Tabor trying to allow the ball to kind of dictate maybe some movement now. Brinje after a ball knocked around, they're gonna push forward. Long ball looking for Slachik down the far side. Slachik's gonna get walled off by the defense, and it's gonna be a a goal kick. As they got a new member of the community from Scotland. Good to see you guys. As watching from Scotland. I'll actually be. I know Scotland and England are not the same thing, but I will be within your vicinity in early November, heading over to London with my family. We're gonna let the kids see some history. As boy, how about a barge right there? As now walking across and trying to get right down the line, gonna wind up being. Looks like maybe they're going to call. Flag went straight up, so not sure if they were calling an offside or if they're just giving the goal kick. Boy, but went right down that far side and couldn't tell if that was Nechev that kind of got on his heels and got pushed over backward on the contact or not. As Nechev, not a small human being, that's a big tree fall hard right there. Hojic sends the ball forward, sending it to midfield. Ball's going to get bounced around just a little bit at midfield. And trying to play down through is Cerna, as Cerna's going to wind up losing the ball. Goes right to the middle. So Sever goes to Carroll. Carroll gets a little bit of a shove in the back. They're going to say that the ball was last touched by Brinje. Ball now bouncing around is back and forth. You kind of see this right down here on the near side. Is thank you to thank you to Davor Skurion. Says, I don't know, you guys didn't get a chance to see it. It was hidden on my feed as I kind of had a graphic up. Davor was out. He pulled the camera down. He was cleaning off a camera, cleaning off the lens. Boy, a ball right in the middle as Rose is tangled up with the keeper. The keeper way off of his line, out of the box, and the ball bouncing around now as Tabor trying to get back in line for a potential swing here. As Carroll's going to drop it back out and coming down the line. Rose tries to get a foot on. Now at the top is Hojic. Hojic sends the ball forward. It's nicked out by Brinje. Wow, that got fast and furious and wild. And you see some of the havoc that Rose can cause in the middle. Rose, I don't know if you can tell if you've never been there in person, is when Rose is a physical player. And he's I mean, honestly, he's way taller than I thought he was. He's about 6 feet tall, but just built very strong, very well for a football player or soccer player, depending on what area of the world you're watching from. Very strong. So a corner kick coming and going to be an in-swinger here, as that looks like that. I can't tell who that is on the far side. It might be Carroll actually going to send the ball in, as Carroll waiting. Ball coming across, and boy, punched away by the keeper. Trobech does a good job getting up and over a couple of players. You saw him, gets around him, and now trying to chase the ball down on the far side. Hojic now with the ball. So that was Carroll chasing the ball down. Hojic in control is going to drop it down back towards the back line. Slotchik is there, so they're going to wind up getting back into their positioning as Brishke drops into the back line. Slotchik moves back to the far side. And now all the way back to the keeper, Zeriali. And bouncing around forward once again. Hey, saw a Brinje viewer in the YouTube stream. Welcome. Enjoy. I hate to tell you, not exactly going to be the most impartial broadcast you've ever heard, but I'm glad you're here and enjoying, and then maybe you can laugh at all the dumb Texanisms that show up. Kyle, I am from Texas, and so sometimes pronunciations are going to get me, and we all laugh and have a good time at it together. As Tabor with the throw in row is going to turn, try and control, and whoa, boy, really goes down hard, shove right in the back, as Brinje going to get called for a foul. You're going to see that as the day goes on. For those of us that have watched Tabor for a while, the physicality of Rose invites more physicality, and sometimes I think for those of us cheering on the Red and Blacks, we don't always think that Rose gets quite enough fouls called when he's on the ball. Sometimes it gets really rough and tumble down there. And so you're going to see that, especially as the game goes on. We're going to see a lot of center backs one-on-one with him. Ball kicked forward, trying to get it right down the side, looking for Slotchik, as Slotchik on the run. And now a ball coming right back towards the middle. Carroll steps back up. Carroll's going to catch a little too much of, I believe that's Livanic. And Levanic is going to go down. We're going to set up for a free kick and a restart here for Brinje. So Brinje wearing their horizontal stripes, looking like blue and yellow bumblebees out there on the field. As Brinje now going to move forward, trying to get the ball down in, and Nechev's going to step up. Nechev to Carroll. Carroll flicks it on to Rose. Rose one-on-one with the center back now. Rose trying to find some help. Rose going to have to hold it up a little bit. Goes down the 18, lets the ball go across, and just outside. Oh my gosh, as the ball bounces off the back fence and hits the net. Boy, I was already jumping up out of my seat to celebrate. And man, that was a great job from Rose. Boy, Rose didn't have a ton of help. He was way out in front of everybody, cuts back on the 18 and forces Trobech. So Trobech doesn't get a hand on it. He didn't need a hand on it, but forces Trobech to go way to the side and dangerous enough. So a good start for Rose. Would love to see some more of that continue as Tabor trying to pull out 3 points in the last 5 games against Brinje. Brinje has won 3. There have been 2 draws. Tabor has not won any of them. So Tabor looking to, after last year, Tabor with 2 defeats of Illumii, who went up to the first division, looking to maybe try and do a similar thing to another top team here in the second Slovenian division. Last year, this game was 2-0 at half. Brinje up, and then Tabor scored 3 and unfortunately gave up a late penalty and had a red card in the game as Brinje trying to get into the box, and well, it's going to be a foul as Zeriali goes down. Now having a little bit of a conversation with Zeriali, and I believe that's Jarosh Karun, as Karun showing some of that leadership that he's really done a great job of. And really, I think has brought a lot of stability being okay, listen, he's 38 years old. I'm 42. So when I call him the elder statesman, I'm not insulting his age. He is doing amazing things. But kind of being a little bit of the leadership and the age on this team, and we've seen him take over the spot kicks as well, and he's been fantastic. As boy, a ball coming across and a foul on Brinje. You saw Sever. Sever was trying to get the ball, and he had some space down below him towards the camera. As probably a fairly wise play, nothing too dangerous from CERN, but excuse me, there we go. There's the English in me. That's going to be Cherne, and so when Cherne spins him around, trying to protect that. Nice job by Hojic. Oh my goodness, they're going to call Hojic for a little bit of a shoulder to the back. As you'll forgive me. Okay, here's the red and black in me. Hojic is an incredible player. He's also not the biggest guy on the field. I highly doubt that that Kevin Binkic felt like he took such a hard hit that he went flying from the Hojic shoulder. But Hojic, and here's the thing, Hojic can really run down the side. If Tabor can get Hojic running and really creating havoc down the side, it puts a lot of people in some problems. Speed, you just can't teach speed. As nice job by Brisky. Brisky controls it at his feet. Sever's going to drop it back to Karun now, and Karun's going to spin. Karun's got a man right on him. Karun looking for an outlet. He's going to go way forward down the field. There's nobody there though, as Karun just gets the ball away. And Brinje are going to take their time coming back forward. Now back in the middle of the field. Chandic this time, the midfielder in control. Chandic goes to Karun again. Karun to Nechev. Sever. Now, Sever going to try and move the ball through the middle a little bit. Nice job. Some passing lanes. And going down is going to be Stancic. So Dino Stancic pulled down as he's trying to make a good turn. We've seen that in the midfield a little bit. Nothing that's been overly aggressive, but it's a good precedent for Tabor to set as some of these good turns. You've got Brinje coming up behind him. Brinje having to kind of grab a shoulder, grab an arm, spin him around. At some point, hopefully, the official begins to say either enough and give us an opening, or maybe a few cards will pop up and force Brinje to be a little bit more controlled in their movement. As boy, going down from behind on the hit from Slachic. Can't see who that is on the far side. You'll forgive me as the feed I'm looking at. I'm doing this from my house in Texas. I'm looking at a similar feed that you're looking at. As now the restart up and moving in the defensive third for Brinje. Brinje moved to the midfield and quickly taken away as Nechev with a really nice job. Tabor making sure they're trying to hold that defensive form. Carroll drops all the way back in from his up front position. Now pushing up on Karun and Brishke. They're going to go all the way back to Zeriali. As Brinje's starting to use high pressure early on in this game. Still just over, about 10 minutes have been played. Only real chance to this point has come from Rose. Rose with a really nice shot from the 18. Ball down the side. Here comes Stancic. Stancic tries to make a move right behind Binkic. Binkic just winds up having to kick the ball off the Stolfa sign, and we move down as Leon Sever is going to come down for a corner kick. So Sever is going to get set up, and right in the box, we're going to see a whole bunch of bodies and white shirts, and then yellow and blue, all going to get into the box. Actually, going to stay closer to the penalty spot. So going to see if we get some runners into the box here as Sever's going to get set up, sends the ball forward. And Rose, just a little bit behind him, sticks a foot out there. Boy, Rose gets another foot on the ball, headed away as Tabor continuing to try to fight. Brinje trying to get it out of the 18. Chandic tries to flick a ball on Rose, now using his body. Rose is looking for some help. Rose goes down, gets no help from the official, and then, oh boy, unfortunately, coming in was Carroll. Carroll tries to loft a ball back in. It goes, boy, maybe almost off the face of a Brinje defender, maybe off his forehead, and immediately back down off of Carroll's foot and then off the fence. So out on Tabor as Tabor continuing to look dangerous here and really a good job of at least trying to get balls towards the net and into the net. So we're going to see how this plays out now as Brinje just going to walk the ball out is going to be Trobech. And Rose trying to angle, trying to force him to go the direction that Rose is wanting. And now, boy, difficult pressure from Tabor. Carroll's trying to get a ball away. They're going to play advantage for the moment as Sever now in control of the ball, gets it to Chandic. Chandic looking for that pass forward. Chandic, we see some great passes from Chandic over the years as he's been able to cut some lines. Big swing from Slacic. Slacic trying to get the ball in, and right in the way is a Brinje defender. And so a throw in now to Tabor. Boy, Slacic wound up and gave that kick everything he had. I think that's the same Brinje defender that took a ball off the face from Carroll. At the very least, we're going to make him sore, even if he has a decent game. As well, Brinje take the ball back, wind up kicking it. Maybe that was off of Chandic. The Veo cam not exactly designed for the being able to see in kind of these the bright white shirts with the lights glaring off of them. The closer it gets to you, the easier it is to see, obviously. As most of the Tabor guys, I've seen him enough, I'm able to kind of call him out just by recognizing him. Carroll turns. Carroll, boy, ball just a little bit behind him from Sever. As Chandic is going to move it up to Nechev. Nechev loves to run forward as here comes Nechev. He tries to pass the ball forward. We're rejected well by Binkic. Boy, Binkic has been all over the place so far. Nechev trying to run him down as Nechev tries to go for ball. Now coming across the middle at the 18. Zeriali and just outside of the 18. Boy, so a scary moment as that was number 14, Jan Kovac. So Nechev, I don't want to call it a giveaway. He was trying to pass the ball forward. Binkic does a great job getting in front, and then the rebound off of Binkic sends the ball hard back beyond Nechev, and they weren't able to rotate behind and cut off the ball. But a good job covering net from Zeriali. Now Brishke finds space out to believe that Slacic. Now moving forward, there's Rose. Rose on a good run. Rose is going to be called offsides, though. Rose had Carroll coming in behind him. And so Rose really trying to test that line, and a good job from Rose. That's something that you want to see early on. You know, obviously you would love for him to have been onside there, but boy, you really got to start making those defenders worried about the moment that either you're going to be onside or maybe the official is going to at least keep you onside. As now moving through, another ball is going to be taken away by Nechev, and Nechev is going to earn the foul. As they're going to get a restart, and a little bit slower here for Tabor. But you have one of those moments that raises the pulse and raises the blood pressure, like the shot from Kovac. Sometimes nice to just kind of pull back and allow the heart rate to settle down on a nice slow restart. So Hojic is going to get encountered. Boy, and there's Binkic again. As what position is Binkic playing that he is literally playing all defense everywhere? As boy, playing must be playing now. He's on the back line, so he went from back line, then he was playing up on Hojic. They've just got Binkic playing all over the place, going down, earning the foul with a man on his back. Is that's going to be Stančić. Stančić, another guy. Stančić is not the biggest guy on the field, but a lot like Rose. Boy, he's just such a physical player that he winds up having guys on his back a lot. As now an area for a fairly dangerous free kick. Tabor is going to line up basically on the 18. Brinje is going to make sure they're not going to play any lower than that. They're going to make Tabor have to run a long way into the box. Severs the man on the end of the free kick here. Hojic is going to play a safety position on the outlet, one of the faster players for Tabor. As ball comes in and headed away, Hojic is going to be back on top of it. Sends it. And boy, coming way in, looking for the ball at the near side. Carroll just misplays it. Bounces right under his foot. You can see he was disappointed there as Carroll really had an opportunity with everybody still down on that end of the field. Carroll had an opportunity to turn it around for what effectively would have been just a short corner and see if we could have got a header in. And so now, as we're kind of approaching the 20 minutes played mark, going to be a throw in for Brinje once again. As going to be a throw in here for Tabor. You saw Matic on the sideline go palms up. He was not happy with the officials, maybe at least in the delay of how long that was taking. So throw is going to go right back to Hojic. Hojic, fancy feet, comes across. Carroll gets it back towards the middle as he's going to drop it all the way back to Nechev. They're going to try and set up a little bit of a possession here as Karun forward to Severs. Severs got some space, going to turn to Carroll. Carroll coming forward. Boy, Carroll dekes that he was going to go with a through ball and then cuts it back as boy coming to play defense on him. Try and call out that number as he when he turns around. Really nice job of playing defense as Brisky's going to have to drop it all the way back. And so they're going to go back to Zariali again. You know, boy, what was interesting is it looked like a very promising possession as here comes Stančić. Stančić is going to get turned around a little bit on the ball across, and Rose gets a little bit of a back kick in, and then Chandic goes down. Chandic gets stepped on. As and let me tell you, you know, I'm sure many of you have played the sport, but I had an opportunity to talk to. I also call collegiate soccer here in the States, and had a chance to talk to a couple of the young ladies that I've called for in the past. Very good soccer players, a couple of All-Americans. For those of you that understand the kind of the All-American award, and asked him how much it hurts when you either get stepped on or kicked. Oh boy, and they said it is for about 5 minutes. It's very painful and really hard to deal with this. Going down, they're going to say nothing for Rose. Boy, there's that physicality again. Rose trying to get a turn. Rose felt like he was pulled down. As and I say Rose felt like he was pulled down. Kyle felt like Rose was pulled down. Let's at least say that. As now coming forward again, head a flick on, and right in the way is, boy, I got to figure out who that defender is. There's a giant in the defensive backfield of Brinje. Got to figure out who that is in just a moment. I told you that Rose is not a small man, and Rose standing next to that guy looked like a small man. That's going to be number 23. So going down hard, as that's going to be a card. So a yellow card early on, and that's going to be on number 6, Vinko Skrbin. So Skrbin gets a yellow card here 20 minutes into the game. As now this is what we were talking about. This is where maybe some of those opportunities in the midfield where right now it looks like Tabor is doing better in the midfield at getting great turns, and that Brinje are just a little bit late getting to Tabor on some of those turns, and so they're having to kind of, you know, go through or pull down Tabor. Now we finally get a yellow card. As the I think the giant defender that I was talking about is their captain, Nick Pushnik, number 23. So I'd love to see He's a little bit taller than Rose, it looks like on the screen, but boy, he's about 2 people as wide. I'm not calling him fat. Carroll's got to come off to the side. So we're going to see how long they go. As the official, maybe Carroll was just coming off, getting away from the ball, and I think the official saying because we stopped the game. I'm not positive. I don't want to guess, but he certainly was sending Carroll off. So Carroll's gonna have to come back on in a moment. Unfortunately, pretty positive position here for Brishke. Would love to see Carroll be able to come back on here very quickly. Stanchich controls with the chest, trying to flick it onto himself, flicks it onto himself, then tries to go left foot towards the goal. Ball's going to stay a little bit wide. Maybe was hoping to catch that top left corner from where we're standing. Just goes a little bit wide, though. Quite a bit wide. Is Carroll? Boy, you actually see Carroll down on the ground there. I wonder if maybe in the foul, Carroll caught a boot that maybe cut him a little bit, and they're trying to clean up some blood. I know that's been an issue in the past, not with Carroll, but just in general. You wind up catching the shin, doesn't have a lot of meat on it, and if you wind up catching a hard part of maybe that hard rubber on the bottom of your shin, it can cut it open fairly easily. And here comes Carroll. Carroll coming to the rescue as fast as he possibly can, which is very fast. Carroll can really run. Ball sent backwards, so nice job as we see once again Binkich, is more kind of in a not a forward position, but he's further up the field at this moment. Ball crossed in, headed away, and right back to that's going to be Skrbin. So Skrbin tries to handle it. The rebound a little too hard. They get the ball down here to Hojic. Hojic now looking forward. Hojic is looking for Rose. He's going to go to the near side. Rose going to go trying to get a turn around with defender right on his back as he's got Hojic to assist. Hojic now, defender comes out, goes inside to Carroll. Carroll, does he have any help? Carroll rebounds the ball. Carroll trying to get onto his left foot, goes in for goal and just rolls wide. Boy, as wasn't an overly powerful shot as he just kept battling, winds up falling backwards, but gets it right towards that far post and requires a save, maybe wind up having a little bit of a deflection actually. Great job by Carroll. You could see the shot coming as he was moving to his left, trying his best to get an open shot. I think Stanchich was in there with him. Nechev goes into the goal. Now he's going to come out. Sever, I called it Carroll earlier. It's Sever that's taking the corner here. He goes with a short corner. They're going to bounce it right back to him. He's going to get a different angle. Loops the ball in. They're trying to get the back post as Chandich was there, and Chandich winds up swinging and missing. Oh, my goodness. A good play as coming up from behind. Chandich goes to the back post and was wide open. And honestly, I think Chandich maybe was trying to play it off of a bounce or catch it real low, as Chandich had a lot of space actually to work. And unfortunately, another good opportunity for Tabor. Would love to see one of these good opportunities turn into Kyle yelling and screaming and running around his room, celebrating a goal. It would certainly make me feel a lot better. But at least to this point in the first half, Tabor have had the better opportunities. Boy, a really dangerous shot from Brinje on a counter. And other than that, haven't seen too much out of Brinje offensively. So Tabor, hopefully that's Tabor doing their job defensively. So now moving forward, Rose trying to run down Pushnik as Pushnik is going to drop it off, send it to the far wing. Going to cut right through the middle. A good job and a shot as a goal from Brinje. Boy, goes near post. Brinje has not been all that dangerous. And then when they are, they are. So that's a turn and a shot from Kovac. As boy, and it didn't look like anything that was developing, really. It looked like there was plenty of bodies in the way. Kovac, though, gets the ball at the 18, and another, once again, that's on the counter. Just they turn the ball around real quick, have a few numbers. They weren't overwhelmingly high in numbers, but Kovac with the goal, 20 minutes left to go in half number one. As honestly, I was slow in the call, quite frankly, because the angle of the shot just looked like it would hit the outside of the net, but it was just a really great shot. It looked kind of honestly, it looked kind of similar to Rose's shot earlier, where Rose's goes wide, forces the dive and goes wide. Zariali, though, unable to get there, and Brinje up 1-0. So a tough spot here for Tabor. Of course, Tabor, let's face it, you were going to have to score anyway. So now you just say, okay, that's all right. We'll score twice. As Hojic sends the ball forward. Tabor have looked plenty dangerous. Let's see if they can continue to look plenty dangerous. Ball's going to be out and a throw in to well, they call okay, so they call it the linesman was calling it to Brinje. The official calls it to Tabor, and so now going to the outside, Slotchik kind of gets a sideways shot, and sliding in was Rose just a little bit in front of Rose. You kind of saw that that not really. I don't want to call it a high kick. High boot is not proper, but what kind of got that sideways kick, almost a karate kick down. Kept the ball low. Rose sliding in, almost got there, couldn't quite get there. So Tabor decides they're going to press the gas pedal and say, we're just going to go ahead and see if we can even you up real quick. So Tabor trying to press high, and Sever is going down is going to be number 17. So that's Teen Levanic. So when you heard the yell, as I think he was probably trying to get a fast turn and wound up, he's kind of holding his jaw, trying to get a fast turn, and probably runs right into Sever's shoulder. And it's kind of the way that tends to happen. The camera wasn't there quite in time. Ball's going to go back as Brinje are going to start out of the back. And the press is coming high. So Tabor trying not to give Brinje a lot of time to set up in the back and figure out the direction that they're trying to go. Now backing off just a little bit, as a little bit closer to their 18. Tabor going to allow Brinje just a moment. Now Brinje going to look way down the side and look into that dangerous side again. It's the two shots that they have had. The very dangerous shots have come both from the 18 at the far side of the field. A quick throw in. Nechev trying to maintain positioning on this in the corner there. Does a good job, forces the ball to come back out towards the midfield. And Brinje are going to drop it all the way back to the midfield stripe. Try to get things rolling once again. Pushnik sends it to the far defender, flicked on forward. Now Nechev right on the back. They're going to flick it outside, and they're looking for a cross. Nechev comes inside. Medic Slach is on the outside. Nice defense by Slotchik as Slotchik takes it away. Rose coming forward, but still retained by Brinje. And now the ball bouncing around once again in the backfield is trying to set up another attack. Brinje more than willing to kind of venture in and willing to come back out if they need to. Here comes Levanic. Levanic sends the ball forward, right-footed ball from that same dangerous area. And this time, Zeriali falls on top of it, and he's going to get things restarted once again. He's going to drop it at his feet. They're going to play it. He's actually going to send the long ball forward, not going to play it out of the back. Looks for the midfield and looking for Stancic. Haven't called Stancic's name too much to this point, so Stancic looking to get involved a little bit here. Ball sent forward down to Hojic. Brisky sends it to Hojic. Hojic comes across. Hojic is going to lob a ball in, and a high kick. Oh my goodness, that would have been an incredible goal as Rose goes for the bicycle kick, and it winds up going just a little bit high. Would have loved to see him catch a full boot on that one and rocket that thing into the back of the goal. Oh my goodness. Once again, dangerous, and a nice job getting Hojic open and allowing him to pick out an offensive player in the middle. But we start once again moving the ball the other direction for Brinje. And this time, Tabor not going to allow them to try to find somewhere down on the field, but a nice flick on, and Brinje back in business. Brinje go to the middle, and Zeriali is right there waiting as just a little bit out in front of the Brinje attacker. That attacker was number 24, Cherna, as Cherna was just about 2 or 3 feet away from maybe putting him up 2-0. Zeriali now looking to the far side. Zeriali finds Sever. Sever finds Slotchik, and now back and forth in the midfield, taken away initially by Brinje, and Brinje's going to retain possession. Now running right through the midfield, nobody in front of him to stop him. They switch it over to Cherna. Cherna now to the outside and going to be helped out by Levanic. Levanic backs it out. They look for a cross coming in. It's a little bit low, cleared away, I believe, by Sever. And now, dangerous shot or dangerous spot, not necessarily a dangerous shot. Couldn't see, that might have been from Kovac, as it was actually a dangerous shot, winds up being deflected by a Tabor player, and a corner now for Brinje. First corner that we've seen from Brinje. We've seen a couple of really good corners from Tabor and some dangerous looking play from Tabor. Brinje now. Brinje, after not doing much, now feel like they've got the ball pretty consistently. As the Veo cam's not going to help us out, as looks like they're going to play. Well, they deke a short ball. They're going to play a long ball in, headed, just going to go all the way through as a couple players go up from Brinje and from Tabor, and ball goes all the way through. A throw in to Tabor, as balls are coming from every which direction for Slacic. Slacic's going to drop it off. Hojic is going to come back and throw it in, so that way everybody gets back into their position. 13 minutes to go here in half number one. 1-0, 1-0. Brinje on top. As Brinje now in control of possession for most of the half. Brinje have been the ones that kind of been playing defensively. Tabor have had some really good shots. Now all of a sudden, though, Brinje get two good shots. One of them goes in the back of the net. And Brinje all of a sudden have built some momentum, kind of staying on top of the game. So defensively, Tabor trying to stiffen up, take the ball back, as Brinje now kind of retaining possession, like we said, as they're willing to venture far in. They'll try and get down one of the sides, and if they can't get down one of the sides, they'll just back it on out, get it back to their defensive line. They'll swing it to the other side and try and get it down the other side. Most of the middle, to this point in the game that we've seen, most of what's come up the middle has been the counterattack. They've been very direct. They go right to the 18, give it a shot on the 18. Boy, as the ball bounces through, gets away, Brinje unable to get a forehead on it. Now coming through, Kovac is going to have another good shot. Brinje slides in. Brinje takes the ball off of the leg. Boy, as dangerous as Kovac had an opportunity. Brinje actually took a ball off the stomach. Brinje's still trying to catch his breath back, as now coming up the middle is Bonkic. Bonkic it sends a ball towards the middle, headed away by Binkic. And Karun sends it away. Boy, Kovac was looking for a brace there as he got open, and a great job by Brinje. Great hustle play to get back in the way. Carroll with the ball in his own corner, and just going to be cleared away by Hojic. Hojic just trying to get some space, and the ball actually going to go off of Brinje. So a great job by Hojic, as Hojic just tries to clear it away. It's deflected by Brinje, and a dangerous situation where they were down in the corner with a lot of defenders around them. Now they've got a throw. Now still a tough throw in from this area. You got to find a way maybe to get the ball back to midfield, see if you can gain some possession, as Rose down on top of the ball. Carroll's going to take it away. Carroll trying to get the ball out, and the ball's going to stay towards Brinje, and a dangerous spot kick for Brinje now, as Brinje trying to play defense. Ball kind of bounces away. Brinje goes down, sticks his foot out. I think right now the Tabor defender really unhappy about the way that things went with Rose, and then I think he's saying that he did half of what was done to Rose, and all of a sudden the whistle's going to blow. So Tabor are going to set up a two-man wall, as the referee comes out with his can of silly string and draws a couple of lines. For those of you that understand the silly string reference, God bless you. It means you're as old as I am. For those of you that don't, I always liken the spray for the line to a can of silly string for the officials. Ball sent in, as, boy, dangerous ball goes to the feet, cleared away by Karun, as that ball was just kind of bouncing around in a dangerous spot right in front of the near post. Karun does a good job coming out and cleaning it up, getting on it. As I couldn't tell, I think it was Brinje and one of the Brinje players both kind of went sliding in. The ball kind of hit off both of them at the same time and just stayed, kind of bounced right in the same spot. Now trying to send the ball in, and a good job by Sever. Sever steps out, gets in front of it, and going down is Hojic. Hojic had three guys around him. Excuse me, Carroll. So Carroll steps out, has three guys around him. So now Brinje is going to try and start up the offense. 9 minutes, 36 seconds left to go in this half, plus whatever stoppage time is added on. Brinje drops it back to Zariali. Zariali across the 6-yard box to Nechev. And the high press now is Brinje are trying to hang on to the momentum that they have built offensively. Ball bounces around as Tabor couldn't get on top of it. Now sent back and immediately back to Brinje. And Brinje in a just outside the 18. Boy, they are moving into the attacking third more quickly now than what we've seen them the whole game. Ball down the side boy, gets the corner in a good situation, comes around trying to get a header, and a great job by Hojic. Boy, Hojic holds off Cherna. Hojic much smaller than Cherna, but gets up, gets the ball away with the flick on Cherna, was just waiting at the back post, salivating as that ball was coming right to him. I'm sure he was seeing a goal celebration in his future. Great job by Hojic. Sever now drops the ball to Brinje. Brinje comes inside, and now they're going to go outside to Hojic. Hojic one-on-one on the outside. Hojic is going to see if he can, well, he moves it back in for Carroll. Carroll's got some space. Carroll's going to send it into the back post as, boy, Rose and Stancic, I believe, both look like they had an opportunity. I'm not sure if maybe one of them prevented the other from having the ball cleanly, as looked like Rose was trying to get his head on it. Stancic looked like he was trying to control it with his chest, and it winds up bouncing away. As a foul's going to be called, and Brinje are going to get the restart. So Brinje going to play it short. Looked like he was lining up to send it downfield, but going to play it short to Skirvin. Now ball sent way down the field. Karun gets a header on it, sends it the other way. Sever gets spun around, and is that going to be a yellow? They give a yellow. As, boy, there's that just regular spinning around, and a yellow goes to number 17, Tin Livanic. So with about 7.5 minutes to go, he gets a yellow. And excuse me, though, they're going to give it to, well, at least the announcer said they're going to give it to Nikola Jovicevic. So I will try and double check that, as they called it out in the stadium as Nikola Jovicevic. I thought maybe he was not reaching over, but I thought he was pointing across Jovicevic. And a corner for Tabor, as Tabor wind up moving the ball quickly down. Carroll is going to be out. They're going to take a really quick short corner. Carroll sends the ball in. Ball goes up, headed away initially, trying to get the ball back in, as Rose puts the ball in the back of the net, but they're going to say there was a foul, as not much argument from Tabor. So, hey, let's look on the bright side. Maybe Rose putting that ball in the back of the net, even though it was a foul, maybe that winds up breaking the imaginary barrier that is preventing balls from getting across into the net. As Hojic loses the ball at the near side, and Brinje does a good job filling in for him. They get it away to Carroll. Carroll is going to cut back towards the inside. Carroll now goes to the inside to Sever. Sever trying to get on his left foot, takes a shove in the back, but continues to stay up. Ball goes across to Stancic. Stancic tries to go left foot, as, boy, what are they calling here? As they're going to say that they're going to say a handball outside of the box, as, boy, Sever kicks the ball. Sever was unhappy. He was pretty sure that was going to be a penalty. And so they're going to get a spot kick from just outside the 18, so from about 19 yards away. Boy, as he took a moment to blow the whistle and call that, and eventually blows it dead, as Tabor looked like maybe they had one chance after that for Stancic kind of turn, winds up getting hit by a defender, as Brinje going to have a 5-person wall. So it's a wall of yellow and blue in front, with Sever going to be standing. Or is that Karun? Karun's been taking a lot of these. We've seen Karun already. In the last game, Karun took basically this same shot from a little bit further out, put it into that left corner. Is Karun going to be able to get it up and down Once again, Karun runs up, tries to get it up and down, and can't get it down below the bar. You saw that's exactly what he was going for. He got it above the wall, couldn't get it below the bar, though. As going to start over for Brinje. Now, Brinje's just going to send everybody forward. They're going to say that's too many near misses for everybody here on our side of the field. We're going to send it as far down towards the middle as we can. Is everybody waiting at midfield for a ball coming forward? Hit on a line. Carroll heads it back, trying to get it to Rose, kind of bounces away from where I think everybody thought it was going. So the only person there is Brinje, and foul is going to be called as Vinko Skrbin winds up earning the foul with 3:30 left to go in the half. Rose quickly goes out and gets the ball for Brinje. Always nice when you see somebody go and get the ball quickly, because you can tell they're hopeful. They feel that they've got an opportunity to score soon. They're not just trying to get to half. As Jeff, I will certainly go back and check the replay at halftime. And you better believe, oh boy, now coming across the 18, and oh boy, as the ball goes down, who is that went shoulder to shoulder? Karun goes shoulder to shoulder. So, and a yellow card for Karun. So Karun gets a yellow card here with 3 minutes to go in the first half. And a very similar ball. This is actually going to be a little bit further outside of the post. So Brinje here at the very end of the half with an opportunity. Looks like Karun communicating with Zeriali. Karun trying to set up the wall, as waiting to see how far back the official is going to put him. Yeah, Jeff, if I go back, I'll say this. If I go back at halftime and that was in the box, I'm going to come back in a much different mood than I'm in right now. As 4-person wall for Tabor. They've got all their tallest players in the wall. Can't tell who that is lining up. They're going to go left foot way over. So they go for the rocket. You could see that Urosh just went to try and get it into that corner. That one, they just go for the rocket, trying to nail it in the far side. Hojic gets closed down very quickly by Binkic. And a header is going to be out on Brinje, and Tabor in control of the ball. Hojic is going to come up as Hojic looking for where he's going to throw this ball. 90 seconds of regular time left. Chandic comes up, just kicks as high as he can down the field. Looks like he was trying to, maybe a little bit of a miss hit, as he was trying to send it forward. Winds up being a throw in here for Brinje. So Tabor trying to communicate about who's got what man. They're trying to hold the ball in this end of the field, and a one-timer. They're going to kick it real long, sent back by Brishke. And now running right through the middle is Skrbin. Turns around by Stancic. Stancic to Carroll. Carroll in a dangerous position. Carroll trying to run through, has the ball taken away at his feet. And now they're going to send the ball the other way. Karun, though, heads it. And then the header, boy, backing off real nice is Cherna. Cherna backs off, reads the header, steals the ball away, and, boy, had an opportunity. Good footwork by the defense of Tabor, as running right into the middle. I'm not sure who it is, but I'm willing to bet it was probably Kovac that wound up running into the middle, and they prevented him, as Kovac was looking for that through ball, and that's exactly who it was. If he gets a through ball at that area with nobody behind him, that's a difficult ask for Zeriali. So 18 seconds remaining in regular time. We've had 1 goal and 1 short injury, so probably nothing more than about a minute or two. As Rose battling off. Hojic flicks the ball on to Carroll, as that ball's just a little bit too long. A good idea trying to get Carroll down to see if they could get a cross in, as regular time has run out. We are now in added time. The official takes a look at his watch and off and throwing as Stancic in control of the ball. Carroll, they're trying to move the ball forward quickly. Carroll goes the left foot in. Coming across is Slotchik. Ball bounced straight in the air by the defense. Chandic is in there. Slotchik's going to drop it off to Severs. Severs looking for a spot as Carroll running in. Carroll gets a rocket as Are they going to call? Wait, what are they blow the whistle? Okay, so they call a head injury. As he blows the whistle really quick and comes running in. As Carroll was closed off by about 3 defenders. Header goes away, and then a whole bunch of contact on Carroll. So I didn't think that they were calling a penalty until the official comes running in. But up and moving as holding his head, kind of rubbing his head off. He stayed still for a couple of seconds, a little bit scary, at least from the thousands of miles away that I am. But up and moving in, glad to see that he's okay. As Trobech gonna send the ball forward, and I'm willing to bet that the whistle's gonna blow when the ball's in the air. As that's exactly what happens. The whistle blows. Tabor down 1-0 on the goal from Jan Kovac, and kind of a goal from nowhere. Didn't really expect it, and there wasn't a lot of opportunity before that for Brinje. But we're going to step away for halftime. Make sure that you stick with us. I'm going to go back. I'm sure you're all probably going to go back and rewind and take a look at the replay as well. But hey, stick with us when we get back. Hey, maybe I will reveal, not maybe, I'm going to reveal what hopefully my shirt logo will look like for Primorye, as I'm kind of revealing a little fun thing that I'm doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being with us. We will see you here in just about 15 minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, welcome back for half number 2. Tabor taking the field. Brinje not quite out. All right, I'm going to do something that I don't usually do, and I'm going to say that I looked at the handball, and I'm going to say that I think that the official got it exactly right. I know you don't usually hear that from me. I know you're all shocked, but all right, keep in mind as I show you some of these images, this is not the Premier League. This is Kyle in about 7 minutes trying to do this on his phone real quick. So in the first image, this is Sever. So Sever it has the ball. You can see I've got the yellow line is where the 18 yards starts, and the circle is where the ball is. So this is right as Sever kicks the ball. The defender, so it's not 23 that gets the handball; it's the one behind him. The defender is on this side of that 18-yard line. And then in image number 2, now what you see this is where the ball is actually hit with the guy's hand. So, I mean, this is like literally just milliseconds. So he kicks the ball. Now it goes off of the guy's hand. It's right behind the hip of number 23, Pushnik. And so the ball is going to hit. Now, here's the deal. At this point, you're like, well, I can't really tell where that is. The third image is the telling one because if you watch it in the video, the ball actually bounces forward. And this is where the ball hits right on the 18. My yellow line I realize my yellow line may not be great because it kind of doesn't show you where the 18 is. But it bounces right on the 18, and you could see it bounces forward off of the hand. So the guy wasn't actually inside the 18 at that point. So as much as it begrudges me, I'm going to give credit to the official there, as the official gets it right. And Tabor, unfortunately, we're just about 18 inches from getting a penalty kick. So Tabor are going to come out. They're down 1-0 as had possession and had chances like crazy in the first half. But the two best chances eventually come from Brinje, and Brinje only need one of those as both of them on counters take the ball away, get down quickly. Hey, I wanted to show you. So let me know what you think of this. Is so I've got in the shirt sponsorship for the Premier game is I may have to change it a little bit because I don't know if they're willing to do two colors here or not. But man, looking to go with my broadcast logo is. Well, I love what I'm doing and really enjoy getting a chance to do it. Putting that on a shirt and have one of the players wear that, get some really cool pictures from it, be able to use that in some marketing, and then they're going to ship it to me, and I'll be able to add it to my wall of jerseys here. Really cool looking deal is for those of you that have ever seen me in person, I've got a large beard, and so got my logo on there. Not sure which one of these I'm considering using, but my last name being Ship, I like to play off of the captain's call. There's a couple of other ideas that I came up with. Unfortunately, some of those ideas are already taken by maybe not well-known media companies, but some of them very prevalent in the media world. So as much as I enjoy it, I don't think I'm willing to put up with a cease and desist letter. As right now, though, the people looking to not cease and desist going to be Tabor. Tabor going to try and start this off, and boy, would love to even this up sooner rather than later. As 2 goals against Bilye and had two goals early, gave up a very late goal. Now Tabor looking to come out and try and even things up as they're on the other side of this thing. So Brishke is going to send the ball forward to the near side, and Rose going to try and win a header. Stančić with the ball at his feet, tries to turn it around. Boy, nice job on defense right behind Stančić. They kick it away. Nechev now with the ball as he moves it into Sever, and Sever very quickly bounces out to Karun. Karun now in that middle position. We've seen a little bit of a switch as previously we saw Karun on that far position and Brishke in the middle. They've switched that up now, Karun being right in the middle. They go all the way back to Zeri Ali as Brinje do a good job once they kind of get the ball out of the 18. They push it forward. Oh boy, Stančić is not going to be happy about this. They're going to call a foul on Stančić as Stančić trying to position himself and going down hard in midfield. As Stančić was just saying, I was just trying to play position on the ball. Dino not thrilled as that's going to be turning around is going to be Skrbin. So Skrbin, the benefit of the foul call there, Rose pushing high as well, they're trying to win this ball back here quickly, and Boy, going down. So after it cut, so somebody comes over the back of, I believe that was Chandich. Boy, if anybody comes over the back of Dino, Dino may lose his mind. As coming over the back of Chandich in what it looked like a similar way that it happened to Dino. Now trying to turn the corner, and boy, has the corner quickly. As Nechev does a good job of stopping the corner, there was your goal scorer, Kovac. Kovac starts to get the corner. Nechev gets a foot in there, knocks the ball away, but it's a corner kick here for Brinje. And Brinje, boy, would it look like Tabor were going to have the ball at the 18, maybe get a shot off early. Brinje are the ones that wind up with a corner kick here. Header away. Looks like that's Karun with the header away. As Tabor now just trying to get it away from the 18. Carroll running down the far side, trying to get into the near side. Boy, gets crunched in the middle of three defenders. They're going to call the foul. As you saw Slotchik was out there near him, and he goes, hey, wait a second. They try and start it quick. They go for the quick kick, and Rose was looking for it. They had two guys covering Rose, though. They knew exactly what they were doing. I think Rose puts a hand up saying, hey, my bad. I don't think I saw it as quickly as you kicked it. So Tabor trying to move through the middle, had some success through the middle in the first half, looking maybe to try to replicate that success. But this is where it'll be interesting to see what have the teams done to switch things up. Are there adjustments to be made? I think that's the question. As both teams had success in what they were trying to do, ball in right to Zeriali is look like the Brinje was looking for somebody to run in front of Zeriali. So basically just a pass into Zeriali. Karun sends the ball forward, trying to bypass the midfield this time. Rose tries to get to turn and not able to be there. Stančić, boy, Stančić I think slipped trying to come back to the ball. Stančić a little bit hobbled. Now seems to be running better again. As going to send it all the way back to Trobec. As Karun going to bounce things around a little bit. Oh, man. Did anybody yell at me about starting the clock? You probably did. I didn't get a chance to see that. So we'll get it restarted when they show the clock down here on the far side. I'll get it reset once again. I'm willing to say we've had about 4 minutes of game time. I apologize about that, guys. As I need to give somebody my phone number so they can call me and send me a text message to say, hey, dummy. Brinje at the top of the 18. Brinje spinning around. They send the ball forward. Zeriali's right there waiting on it, though. As I think Karun trying to ask a question about what somebody was doing on defense there is with right now Brinje way on the front foot. It kind of changed things around as Tabor on the front foot for most of the first half. Then Brinje broke the ice, got a goal, and then seemed to control most of the rest of the half. And quite frankly, if that's the way this is going to go, I'd be okay with it if we can hold off for a little bit and then score a goal and even things up. Brinje going to send the ball in from the 18. Zeriali right there waiting. Boy, Brinje now just lobbing balls toward the net. As and I don't mean lobbing in terms of not sending good shots. I mean lobbing as they're just everything they get, they're going to send towards the net right now and see if maybe they can get a misplay from Zeriali or maybe get on the same page with a runner through. Carroll now with a quick turn has the ball taken away at midfield. So all of a sudden, Brinje very strong through the midfield. Hodzic is going to back off, so a nice job keeping the ball from getting too far into the 18. Rose coming forward is going to get the header to Carroll, and then Stančić is going to go down hard. Here comes Slotchik. Slotchik, is he going to get there first? Slotchik cuts back across. Slotchik goes to Rose in the middle. Rose trying to get a turn. Slotchik now has to back off. Golly, it was a great looking opportunity. Sever now. Sever is going to send the ball to the far side to Hodzic. Hodzic controls it, sends it in. Flick on is going to just miss the post as the flick on from Stančić. Oh my goodness, that was disappointing as it looked like everybody was just on the wrong foot as Slotchik sends it in and tries to get Rose. And Rose, I don't know if he got blocked off or it looked like maybe it was just going to be an opportunity for him to redirect the ball a little bit. Couldn't quite get there. Had to back everything out. but a good start. And here, this is and kind of similar to what we were talking about. That was on a counter. It was a quick break on a counter, which is exactly what Brinje did in the first half. Like to see if maybe Tabor can figure this out as they struggled to get through the midfield, had a ball taken away, and then had a ball just kind of bounce off perfectly, which is exactly what happened in at least the first attempt for Brinje in the first half. Stancic is going to go down. Stancic gets brought down, and they're going to bring out the card, and that's going to be a card for number 21, Rock Maher. So Maher now with a card. That's going to be the third card of the game for Brinje. Sever lining up to take it. He's going to be just outside the 18. As Luke, I see a comment, a suggestion. I'll take a look at that here in a little bit. A lot of activity going on. Don't want to miss too much of the activity. But I always am open to input, trying to make this as good as possible. Doing it here from my home in Texas. As Sever lines up. Everybody just outside the 6. They're between the penalty spot and the 6. Boy, can we get somebody to rise up with a header. This is a Uros Corone time. Going to go to way over as Sever goes way past the goal. He's not happy with himself as a couple of opportunities that have been missed to this point by Tabor. They're looking to try to get back in this early on here in half number 2. As a long ball is going to get sent all the way down. Nechev is going to run it down. Nechev takes a shove in the back and a foul as Nechev, one of the faster players for Tabor. So anytime Nechev is running one-on-one, as long as he's got a step, I feel pretty good about it. Nechev, big, tall player, long legs, very fast, very physical. One of the things we haven't seen Nechev do too much today and is kind of one of those runs where he runs all the way from the back line to about the 18 and winds up having to draw a bunch of defenders. Usually good things happen when that winds up. And now a ball bouncing. Oh, boy, as Stancic and Sever just kind of lose the ball. Chandic goes down hard. Now Stancic gets a turn. Stancic looking for some help. Stancic now controls the ball. He's got Stancic coming. He goes all the way across to Hojic. Excuse me, Carroll. Carroll comes up the middle. He's got somebody coming from right behind him. They're going to say no. They're going to say he gets the ball as Carroll was winding up for the kick. Takes a shoulder right to kind of the back of the shoulder, and the ball turns around. Tabor's got to get back on defense. Tabor now trying to figure out with Kovac. Kovac is going to get the corner kicked away, and right in the middle is who is that coming up the middle? I think they're going to say, okay, a handball. Boy, that was scary as Hojic sticks a hand in there. They play very quickly. And here goes Tabor. They haven't been called back just yet. Now they're going to call it back as they're going to say that they played it too quickly. Boy, as Hojic puts a foot out, ball bounces away from him and coming right up the middle. Boy, Kovac was the one who came in across. Wasn't sure who that was that came in second and wound up actually having the handball. As I wonder if it might have been Jovicevich. And so, boy, nothing but action for a couple of moments there in the game. And now we're back kind of bouncing the ball around in midfield as each team trying to move through midfield. To this point, Brinje have kind of found dominance, but we're starting to see Tabor moving again. Here comes Carroll. Carroll cuts back to the inside. Carroll's got a couple of helpers. Carroll's trying to get to the 18. Carroll with the kick goes to Slachik on the deflection. Slachik's going to send it way up off the net. Boy, as Carroll kept trying to find some space, couldn't quite get it, and then when he kicks it, it winds up being deflected immediately. And then Slachik had some space, and it looked like Slachik looked to the inside at first and decided to go for goal, and the ball bounced a little bit higher than what he wanted, just didn't get on top of the ball. And so if you're wearing red and black and cheering on Tabor, if you're an optimist, you're saying, hey, we're making progress, we're moving forward. If you're a pessimist, you're saying, man, we got to get this ball in the back of the net. And if you're me, you're just trying not to have a heart attack with everybody listening online. As Hojic gets it to Sever. Boy, Sever goes down. I think Sever winds up. They're going to play it quickly. Sever's still on the ground, though. Sever went to his knee. I really hope that's okay. As definitely don't want to have Sever with Petkov down already. Want to make sure that Sever's okay as well. As another player goes down for Tabor and nothing called, as it looks like that's Carroll. Carroll's not real happy. Carroll's running around talking to any official that he can. Now Carroll actually gets maybe a little bit of a shove, maybe some payback for Carroll, and then loses the ball. Boy, that was unfortunate. Been nice as, and now somebody comes right over the top of Carroll. Is this going to be a card? This is. It's. Well, excuse me. Wait, he pointed to Carroll. Did he give it to Carroll? Okay, so the card goes to Carroll. Excuse me. I thought that. Yeah, that's what I think. Rose would say, "Hey, wait a second. We keep getting hit in the back as well." So Carroll goes down, or excuse me, Carroll. I guess maybe Carroll got in front. I I didn't see it. I thought maybe that Carroll was the one that they went through the back of, but obviously not. So now this is the 5th yellow in this game. A lot of yellow cards. So with 34 minutes to go, Carroll now going to be playing on a yellow. I'm going to see if at some point, wonder what changes may be coming for Tabor. As boy, Tabor have had some success. And this is going to be a ridiculous statement. They've had success in everything except putting the ball in the back of the net. And so, going to see, is there a change that Manic makes, maybe to find that extra bit of joy, because it's just they just haven't had the finish quite yet. They've had the opportunities, but haven't had the finishing, and quite frankly, haven't really tested Trobeck. Actually, if you really think to it, they've had the opportunities, but haven't actually sent something towards the goal. The defense of Brinje has prevented basically everything except for one kick, Rose, and that was about 5 minutes into the game. And so a throw in now. Hojic is going to pick it up. He's going to go for the throw in. Karun's going to give it right back to him. Hojic is going to start things off, send it to Brishke, back to Zariali. As, boy, dangerous down the middle. Sever is going to have the ball. Nechev has to back off, get his right foot on the ball, sends it up to Slotchik. Slotchik's got some space. We've seen Slotchik with space this half. Rose trying to battle as Rose is trying to hold off Pushnik. Rose looks around trying to figure out, is it's going to be going to call a handball, as Jovicevic with the handball. Stancic gets around the defender. Nice job getting around Skirvin. Coming back inside now, as he's got Chandic. Chandic looks for goal. Chandic goes to goal. Is about 2 feet too high. So Chandic sends the ball to goal. Little high, looking for a chance to even the game. So Chandic at least raises everybody's blood pressure just a little bit, as Tabor trying to push forward. As there is a, boy, I don't know if you heard it, there was a reaction from the crowd, lots of yelling and cheering. So not sure what happened in the backfield. There might have been some pushing and shoving. Wouldn't surprise me in this game to this point. This has been a physical game and getting tense. The yellow cards to this point don't seem to be doing anything to calm the physicality down. As Brinje into the 18, kicked away. Boy, a really good job. I believe that was Brishke, did a good job. Rose now trying to control it. Rose tries to get to turn, gets pulled down. Boy, are we going to get a yellow on their big center back? As we are not. I'll tell you, that would be a huge if Rose can find a way to get Pushnik on a yellow with still about 30 minutes to go, because Pushnik has been all over Rose, which is kind of the way that teams defend Rose, is they just put their biggest, strongest defender and put him right on Rose. So Rose standing right in the middle, trying to get a cross in. Ball on the far side, cross coming in. Rose gets a header on it. Diving header, as it's going to stay about 6 feet wide of the goal. Once again, another opportunity that just doesn't go between the posts for Tabor. And Tabor starting to build some momentum. Let's see if that momentum can get channeled in between the two posts. Trobeck is just going to send it out of trouble, gets it way down the field. Slotchik trying to get in, winds up creating some trouble with the pass, and eventually just cleared out, and it's going to be a throw-in. Stancic is looking to go really quick. Nobody's ready for him, though. Stancic has Nechev. They're going to drop it down, and Nechev is going to throw it in, going to add another person into the mix here to receive a throw. Nechev, a couple players have a nice job getting away to Stancic. Stancic has to back it out. Sever's there. Sever gets it to Carroll. Carroll turns. Carroll out to Brishke. Brishke to Hojic. Hojic back to Brinje. Are we going to see a ball in? We're going to see Brinje sends a ball in too close to the keeper as we had a couple of runners. And now a little bit of a pushing and shoving behind the play as Rose and boy, it's not the central defender Pushnik. It was one of the other defenders. So it wasn't Binkic or Pushnik. It was the third defender that I don't think I have a number for just yet. As ball being kicked around just a little bit. Everything slowing down from Brinje just a touch. As Nechev, boy, great job from Nechev, takes it away, and Stancic ball trying to get a look over his shoulder. Ball gets away from him just a little bit. He's got to back it off, gets it to Brinje. Now Brinje into Chandic. As both teams seem willing to slow the game down just a little bit, see if they can find some space. Boy, it would be a hectic pace. You'd see about 5 changes from each team immediately if this pace kept up for the next 10 minutes. Stancic kind of tugged and pulled. Ball flicked forward from Sever, but kind of flicked into a whole bunch of blue and yellow as going down. But now off and running is going to be Kovac. Kovac coming forward. Kovac has a little bit of help. Kovac with a move, and they're going to say nothing. A corner as Kovac just goes shoulder to shoulder with, well, I don't know if it was Karun or Brinje or Sever. They go shoulder to shoulder, and then the try shortly following is going to be knocked away and a corner, but I can't quite tell. They came. So our Veo cam is staying facing the goal down here. The official came running back, maybe to check on on an injury. So we got a corner here. Brinje with the corner. They're going to go corner into the box and flicked on and flicked over. Boy, nice job just getting the ball up over the bar from Tabor as that got dangerous in a hurry. Rose came running out as each time Brinje have sent that runner out, they've drugged that first defender out with them, and then they're trying to get that ball in behind that first defender, kind of towards the near post, either for a flick on or straight into the corner. Rose doing a good job. You got Rose, Karun, and Nechev are kind of your 3 men that you're looking to deal with balls in the air. There you go. You see Hojic. He immediately begins running with him. There they go. They go to the back post this time. Zeriali is down on the ground. Ball bouncing around. Zeriali's finally back up and headed off of a Brinje player. Boy, Zeriali goes backwards, leaping in the air, loses his footing, and doesn't get a foot on it. As we've got a whistle, I believe we're going to start seeing some changes now in the game. So you'll forgive me. I'm going to be quiet for a second as I try and hear. How about this? Stepan Ostrich coming back onto the field. Ostrich starting to get healthy. Look, if you're new joining us, Ostrich was really good early in the season. So we're going to see Keenan Carroll come off and Ostrich come on. Ladies and gentlemen, look, whenever at the beginning of the year when they were trying to get some rhythm and find something, Ostrich was the chance creator. Boys, that ball goes right over to Brinje. Trying to brag on Ostrich here, and it goes right to Brinje in our own 18. Get the ball out as trying to move around. Hojic gets the ball back into Sever. Sever sends it forward to Chandic. Chandic has Slotchick down below him, and a nice tackle takes the ball away, but back on top of it, and Karun is back in the middle. As Ostrich, early on in the season, before his injury, was really providing a lot of chance and a lot of creativity. That's one of the things that is going to be interesting to see as Ostrich comes forward. This is an opportunity. Creativity could be really big for Tabor. I'm incredibly excited that Ostrich is back on and moving, as he was a big-time signing for Tabor and was playing really well before his injury. Glad to see that he is fit. And we'll see, is Ostrich going to get his name here on the stat sheet? As boy, about the slowest 5-yard walk you've ever seen in your life right there. Pulling back 5 yards, only to throw it back to the back line. They're going to drop it back to Trobech as going in, and they're going to call a foul. Oh, don't give him a card, as they're going to give a card So sliding in Rose. Rose coming in trying to create some problems for Trobech. Rose is going to get a card here with 25 minutes to go. And what kind of a disappointing card, unfortunately, with all of the physical play. And I don't mean it is what it is. You know, keepers are more protected, and so the disappointing part is that Rose is so physical that if Rose gets into a fight, like kind of a hand fighting battle with Pushnik as this game goes on, would hate to see them go down to 10 men on an offensive type play. Now coming across and trying to get across in is Hojic. Hojic is going to wind up winning a corner for Tabor. Boy, there's a couple of buffering issues. I'm trying to hold my hands. I'm trying to hold my head just perfect as this is the feed that's coming in is fuzzy right now. So I'm going to do my best to try and point it out for you guys as we just kind of have to wait for the feed from Slovenia to clean back up. Corner coming back in, comes right towards the penalty spot. Header's going to go straight up in the air and over the goal. So didn't see who got a head on it, but it's going to bounce away. As there we go, back to it. Thank you, Internet. As now going to play out of the back for Brinje. Brinje just continuing to dodge the attacks of Tabor. Tabor getting closer and closer. Player goes down pretty easily. Maybe he just got tripped up as I think Nechev, they might have warned Nechev. Nechev says, hey, wait a second. The guy just falls down. And then, wow, how about absolutely rocked is they're going to play it quickly, though. Slotchik earns the foul, and then Chandic moves it on to Slotchik. Slotchik's going to try and get a left foot in as, boy, is that going to go out for a corner? No, they say that it's going to be a goal kick. Boy, Slotchik was the touch took him a little bit far as he was really trying to catch up to it. Wound up putting him a little too out of control to be able to control it, maybe even get a cross in. So Gasper Cherne is out. I did not see who that, or did not hear who that was coming in. Taking a look at their team sheet. Zernik, Pushnik, I believe that's number 11, and everybody goes down at once. Oh my gosh, both players on the ground. They're just going to say play on. Boy, as everybody's hurting, that's Nechev is hurting. On the ground is going to be Kovac. As Nechev, boy, everybody's in some pain. As they're going to say that they went knee to knee. Nechev is now showing his back saying, oh, hey, I'm the one who took the brunt of this. As they just played on, so they're going to get a restart. Free ball restart. So on the field, okay, so number 11 is who comes on. So coming on is Nick Zernick. He comes on for Zernitz. So Nick Zernitz comes on for Brinje. So he's their first change. As now with I think just about 20 minutes to go, kind of hard to see the scoreboard that is at the field. I think we're close to correct. Maybe a minute or so off. I'm going to take a long look here as trying to see if that's either Jovicevic or Kovac on the ground. As it looks, so there's Kovac, so I believe that's Jovicevic. As they're going to bring the stretcher on. The stretcher is going to come on, and they're saying, so you can see the Brinje players saying, hey, you need to make a substitution. This is an unfortunate injury. Never want to see somebody get injured. As Karun now having a conversation with one of the defenders of Brinje. As both players went down very hard. So that was Karun and Pushnik were having a conversation. That's the two central defenders, as those are two large men having a conversation. As they've got an ice pack on the knee. So on the field now is going to be number 9, and coming on is going to be Patrick Protanovich. So Protanovich on for Jovicevic, I believe. Again, I was kind of guessing between the two because Jovicevic was the other that's been up top a lot. So if I wind up seeing that Jovicevic is still in, as hey, by the way, there's Jovicevic running around right there. So I'm not sure who Protanovich has come in for. Slotchik's going to send the ball towards the middle of the field. And Ostrich is going to send the ball out to Hojic. Hojic tries to get a ball in. Now comes back to Ostrich. Ostrich on the edge of the 18. Boy, a nice stop. Comes back. Looks for Chandic. Chandic, a one-timer, is going to get sent away by the defense. Boy, it's a good job. Keeps the ball down in between the posts. Flicks it up. Coming in, Stancic unable to get there. And a throw-in is cleared away well by Brinje. But a really nice job. There's the creativity we were talking about from Ostrich is... He's got that opportunity. Chandic sends the ball and looking for Rose. Rose goes up, but caught in the air by Trobic. So Trobic does a good job to read that. A good ball in from Chandic, though, as you know, it's not good in the fact that it was caught, but boy, that was going right towards Rose. Between Ostrich and Chandic, we've got some ability to create some passes and create some opportunities. Would love to continue to be able to see if they can push forward. Still 18 minutes left. There's enough time to be able to get that goal, but would love to see one of these balls that we get excited about, at least the delivery in. We'd love to see one of those go into the back of the net. As Karun to Nechev. Nechev with the eyes up. He's still looking for opportunity. Slotchik now. Slotchik's got just a little bit of space. He goes to the inside to Stancic. Stancic comes back to Nechev, and the ball's going to, or excuse me, to Stancic. Ball's going to get cleared up over the press box, and we begin again. Sever this time. Sever in control of the ball. Brishke to Karun. Now they're starting to push up, trying to create a little bit of pressure. Chandic is going to move down to Nechev. And the ball sent on. Is Rose going to be able to get there? Rose spinning around, gets walled off, and the ball bounces into Trobic as Tabor kind of back in it. So we saw a lot of success when they were able to move the ball through the midfield. The long balls where they're trying to find, they were having a little bit of trouble early on. Then they got back to moving it through the midfield and had some success. As now, boy, a ball bounces away. Good job. Brings the defender out even. Sends the ball in towards the back post. Is he going to get there? As Slotchik tries to keep it in. Trobeck jumps up, makes the catch. Boy, as Slotchik, I thought Slotchik was going to be able to get there. Another decent ball in. As Trobeck is taking a calendar year to get rid of the ball. As now right towards the middle of the field. And running through is Levanic. Levanic to the far side. As Brinje trying to set up an attack scene to see if they can give themselves a little bit of breathing room here. As Maher comes, at least ducks inside. Stancic cuts him off and then comes back down to the near side. As Brinje get the corner point. A good job as not just getting the corner from Brinje, but a good job cutting it off is Nechev. Nechev having to deal with Kovac as Kovac gets the corner. Uh-oh. Somebody rings my doorbell, and so you'll forgive my dogs there. The joys of calling remotely is the dogs lose their mind. Sorry if you had dogs barking in your speakers. But Tabor now, where game has really slowed down as Tabor looking for a route through this difficult Brinje defense. The Brinje defense has been kind of a bend and don't break mentality. Is you get down and they get decent positioning and maybe the first pass is good. but unable to complete it as the Brinje defense really closes down hard once Tabor have gotten near goal. So Tabor looking for a really good chance this half, maybe to try and even things up. As Kinney takes his time to get the throw in, then eventually they're trying to move it down. And Zariali, boy, and a push right in the back as Kovac takes a massive push in the back. Karun's kind of wondering why the side official never said anything. Karun's talking to the side official saying, hey, it happened right in front of you. You're not going to call anything. Thankfully, the referee in the middle of the field took care of it. Karun has to retreat a little bit. That ball just passed him. So Karun's going to bring the ball back towards the midfield, sends it forward, controlled and turn. Nice turn as, oh, don't buffer on me now. Well, you'll forgive the buffering. I'm real sorry, guys. I'm kind of waiting alongside you as right now you're just listening to me kind of nervously go. Hey, how fun. It would be terrible and fun all at the same time if we come back to a celebration. This spinning wheel of death is about the worst thing. There we go. So coming across now, boy, and freezes again. I really hope we don't have to watch this in 2-second segments. Sever back to Chandic. Chandic retains the ball, sends it out to Hojic. Hojic now back to Chandic. Chandic back to Hojic, and they're going to drop it all the way back to Brishke. Brinje holding their shape well, preventing Tabor and a giveaway as the pass back to Hojic goes into touch. As we're going to get another substitution. We'll see who that's for. Again, guys, I really apologize. Well, I apologize for the troubles here, as it says the chat is disconnected too. So trying to see what all is happening, as figure out where the issue's coming from. Make sure it's not coming on my end here. Okay, looks like we're back. As coming in is going to be Cuckoo. So we're going to see who Cuckoo's coming in for. Rose still on the field. So Cuckoo's going to come on for Stancic. So it looks like we might have had one other substitution come on. I heard them talking about Chandic. So we're going to see who comes on in Chandic's spot. As I see someone back in the backfield, and I can see him once we get around, as going down hard. Are they not going to call that? Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? He gets tackled on the outside. Wrong type of football, Mr. Official. Oh my goodness, as they were battling down. And Pushnik just winds up tackling Rose. So Rose just back up, and Rose says, all right, fine, business as usual, as Pushnik taps Rose on the back. Good Lord. Boy, as you can hear, there's a lot of yelling and screaming, a lot of unhappy people right now in Sežana, Slovenia. As that ball is going to be sent down, and they send it forward. Headed away, though, by Pushnik. Controlled at midfield, and There's Hojic. Hojic comes across. Hojic has the ball, kick it away from him. And now Brinje back and forth. And now, boy, Brinje get all the way through. Kovac steps across, steps back across. Now he's just going to wall off, and he's going to try and get a ball across now. As they're going to kick a ball out. Looks like is somebody injured, I guess. Now Brinje are wondering why he's not making a call. And I hate to say this, but Brinje have no room to make that call. As at this point, okay, let's say this. With all the stoppages here, my clock did not start right at half. And oh boy, I think there. So he gives Matic a. Wait, is he giving Matic a yellow, or is he giving Slotchik a yellow? I'm thinking he's giving Matic a yellow, maybe because he was pointing and he kind of gave the zip it motion with the mouth. So I'll say this: you can forget about the clock at the moment. There's been enough stoppages, and I'll say this: if there's not 5 or 6 minutes of stoppage time, someone in Texas is not going to be very happy about 5, 6, 7 minutes not being added. Still limping around in midfield. Oh look, he's miraculously healed now, as running at full speed. Sorry, I'm trying not to be petty, everybody. As now coming forward is Slotchik and Rose trying to take the ball away and just can't, as just continuing to dribble and then winds up eventually winning a throw. And no, throw in goes to Tabor, as that's going to be Maher. Maher does a good job just kind of dribbling away from everybody. As Sever sends it back and now going to the far side of the field, gets a little bit of space. Hojic looking forward. Hojic is going to try and get it right to the middle of the field for Osterich. Headed from, boy, a nice head from Slotchik, looking for Rose as a defender just steps in the way. Boy, Rose is exhausted. Hands on his knees right in the 16. I would expect it. Sever's got some space. Sever sends the ball in, sends the ball towards the near post, though, as first person there is going to be Pushnik. Pushnik winds up clearing the ball away. Sever controls it again. Sever winds up taking a hit in the back and a throw in to Brinje. As, boy, this is the longest throw in on the face of the earth. Making sure that the ball is properly aired up, making sure that all the lacing is good. He doesn't want to throw in an improper ball. Kicked forward, Slotchik winds up first on it, but then cleared away, and right in the middle is Brinje. Now Brinje and Kovac. Kovac, boy, how many times have we said it? Kovac and Nietzschev in a battle as the ball goes over to Brinje, as Brinje are going to bring someone from Italy, basically. They're going to walk all the way from Italy as they're going to show up in about 12 minutes. And the throw in finally comes in, and we're going to get a throw in to Tabor this time, as we're well under the 10-minute mark left in this game. Not entirely sure, as Ostrich goes down. The ball's going to roll away. They're going to get it back. And Karun now in control. As Karun to Hojic. Hojic brings the ball back now. And Tabor trying to set up positioning here. Ostrich. So Ostrich drops back down into this wing position now. He's going to move forward. He's got Slotchik up north of him, and a tackle, and Ostrich's going to lose the ball. It's going to get cleared all the way back. Zeriali's got to bring the ball forward, is just trying to be patient. Tabor have gotten the ball towards the 18 and have had a couple of chances. Maybe chances to have a chance, I guess is probably the best way to put it. But now trying to move the ball through, and boy, another ball gets away from Tabor on the far side, and an easy giveaway. As yes, Willie, I will. I'm trying to be more reserved, buddy. I appreciate you recognizing that I'm kind of saying what we're all thinking at the moment, but boys, they're going to go right to the corner. Kovac is just going to go right to the corner. Who's on him? They're just trying to push him over. Hey, it's a nice job. They go ahead and pull him out of the way. Why not? And then, boy, that's going to be a foul. Give me a yellow card as he dives forward with the feet. How is this not a yellow? As he dives forward with the feet, they're going to send Karun back. So Karun's really not happy. They're going to send Karun back. The official tells him to go away. Karun's wondering where the card is. He loses the ball and then comes in and jumps in with a foot and knocks the feet out from under. Didn't seem like it was really going for the ball. I mean, it might have been in theory going for the ball, but boy, it certainly felt more like an opportunity to try to kill clock and prevent something going on the near side. So the Veo cam is going to follow. We, saw somebody running down with a bag to check Brishke. So Brishke's got the captain's armband right now. Brishke's really not happy. Between Stanchich and Brishke, you're going to deal with some unhappy people that will let you know that you're not doing a good job. And so Kovac is going to get helped off. He's going to limp off. The official checks his watch. Nechev up and running again. Hey, just waiting on the whistle, brother. As that's what Karun's like, hey, are we going to whistle or not? So we're going to get a substitution. Coming on for Brinje is going to be number 7, Vid Hoyts. Vid Hoyts. So Hoyts is going to step on for Kovac, who Kovac has done his job. Kovac has not only got the goal, but he's also just been incredibly dangerous the whole game and really held a lot of possession and prevented a lot of movement from Tabor. So we're going to see how Tabor are going to take this. Is a nice turn from Ostrick. Ostrick does a good job. Tries to get a ball forward to Rose, and stepping in the way is the defense. Boy, it's a good ball forward, but you start to feel time running out, and that becomes a frustrating thing as the ball is sent forward by Jovicevic and going to be wide of the goal. So Jovicevic is going to quickly get the ball back. Excuse me, not Jovicevic. Zariali is going to quickly get the ball back and sends it forward. Brishke now Karun. Sever on the end of this pass, and now down to Nechev. As it's going to be difficult to get a goal as all 11 players behind the ball for Brinje. Brinje are going to try and play their shape, and they've played their shape really well all day long. Nice turn. Rose in front. They're going to get it to Rose. Rose is going to try and get a cross in. Cross is, boy, it doesn't come back. Cross goes into the netting behind the goal. And so an opportunity that falls flat once again for Tabor. As you're starting to feel and I don't know if I'm projecting or not, but you're starting to feel the frustration on the field from the Tabor players. As Trobech going to send this ball forward. Trobech sends it to the near side. Going to be a header as won by Tabor. One Tabor player, 2 Brinje players, and now the ball is going to be a throw in to Tabor. Sever winds up doing a good job making sure he wins it. Karun with the ball. Ball's got to start and move forward a little bit quickly now. It was maybe 5 or 6 minutes of stoppage time. I'd like to say there were going to be more, but I highly doubt they're going to go more than about 5. Ball sent to the far side as Hojic trying to run it down, but a first person there is going to be Binkic. As, boy, Binkic in the first half was all over the place. Now, haven't called his name quite as much. Hojic sends the ball in, sends the ball forward to Rose, but it's going to get cleared away very quickly by Pushnik. Boy, and unfortunately, the ball finds a Brinje player again. A lot of these balls out are finding Brinje players, not finding Tabor players. As a good job turning the ball around, and now on an underlapping run, or at least trying to get the underlapping run. Slotchik's going to lose the ball. Boy, as the ball comes in a little too far. Nice job from Brinje. As turned around, Brinje, nobody in there. They're looking for one player in the middle, and so going to turn the ball around. They've got 3 players behind. As Osterek dealing with a little pressure from behind. Some tugs and some pulls, stays up, comes in. Now, boy, takes a shot to the back. And going to be a kick from Tabor as the Brinje coach is yelling about who knows what. If you don't think that was a foul, then you and I are watching two different games, my friend. You'll forgive me. Kyle's filter only lasts for so long. As if I were, I do a better job whenever I am an impartial broadcaster. But whenever Tabor is my team and Tabor is the one that has asked me to do this, you and me, we're going to have a good time on this. As Sever's going to stand over the ball. Boy, this is a big chance for Tabor. Can they find a way to get a man free? Brinje have been stiff in these free kicks all day long. Ostrich is standing there. Ostrich and Sever are standing there. So Ostrich's going to come out. Sever goes inside to Ostrich. Ostrich is going to turn, kicks the ball forward. It's going to go off of a player, and it's going to be a corner. So it goes off of a Brinje player. So somebody's trying to give Slotchik some instructions. You can hear backing up. So we are now in extra time, I believe. Again, my clock was not correct. Ball's going to get sent in by Sever. Boy, there's a ton of people right in the way of the keeper. As there's about 4 white jerseys and a whole bunch of yellow and blue jerseys. Brishke is letting the official have it. Rose is trying to calm him down. Ball's going to come in, lofted in. Rose flicks it on. It's flicked away. Rose gets it back out to Sever. Sever sends it back in as, boy, the keeper's off his line, and it goes off of the knee of, is that Nechev or Karan? It's Nechev. Oh my gosh. The keeper comes out, winds up getting off balance. Karan comes up, and the ball winds up bouncing off of his knee and going out. Oh, another missed opportunity. As Trobech gets a yellow card. As Trobech, the ball came onto the field. I highly doubt that the ball that came onto the field was from one of the Tabor youth players. Can't imagine where a ball might have come from, as it was sent onto the field. So Trobech was doing his best to ensure the safety of all players and remove the ball from the field thoroughly and slowly. Header back and forth as Rose, Slotchik wanting the ball down on the near side. It's not going to get all the way to him, though, as the ball's going to get cleared away. Nechev is going to have the ball bounce over him, and now Brinje in control again. So Rose trying to play a little bit of defense, and wait a second. That's called. So Rose earlier gets absolutely tackled. Nothing is called. Now, Rose goes and breathes heavily on a Brinje defender who goes straight down. Let's just say this. This film is not, at least from my perspective, this film's not going to be sent to any broadcasting company saying that Kyle is the most unbiased broadcaster you've ever heard. As Rose taken down from behind, they're going to make the call and give it over to Rose, and Rose is really unhappy. I think Rose is pretty upset with the treatment he's received from Brinje, especially, as they don't allow Tabor puts it down and says, hey, the clock's running out. Why are you bringing it back? And so now Zeriali is going to send it to Sever. Now Sever back to Zeriali. Zeriali is going to get it to Nechev. Need to start getting the ball down towards the other end of the field. Ostrich comes down. Boy, are we going to get a last minute draw? Boy, that would be an exciting draw. Is sent into the middle. Rose goes down, winds up winning the ball on the ground. Ostrich now in control. Ostrich sends it to the middle. Sever back into the inside, back out. Brishke, Hojic is going to come back towards the ball, and ball's knocked away. Sever trying to get there and winds up not getting the ball. Boy, as I don't know if maybe the Brinje player closed down quicker than he thought it was. Header comes back out, running across to Sever, and another header, another second ball finds Brinje coming out of the 18. Boy, as Brinje has been right in all the right spots. Tabor now just have to clear the ball out, and And a long walk coming from Brinje, as quite frankly, if Tabor were up 1-0, I'd be calling for someone to be coming from another county over, honestly. I try not to be too much of a homer. I understand that's kind of the way the sport is played. As the Veo cam kind of drifting to the middle, can't really see what's going on outside. Looks like a throw into Brinje, though, based on everybody's positioning. As Brinje keeping plenty of players behind the ball right now, they're just trying to play possession game and run the clock, as the official is going to take a look at his watch. We don't know how much added time he put on, but boy, we've got to be getting close to running out. Tabor need to do something special. They need to take a ball away and do something special in a hurry. As ball down on the end, taken away by Nechev. Nechev's got to find an outlet quickly, as that's going to be the final whistle. And Brinje take the victory. Boy, a game that Tabor had their opportunities. Brinje winds up taking the victory, and Brinje, for the moment at least, go back to the top of the table. Tabor fall a spot, as they're going to need a little bit of help to retain that 4th position. Big games ahead, though, as Wednesday, Tabor are going to play Primorje in the Slovenian Cup. Can they rebound? And not only can they rebound, can they keep their eyes on Triglav coming up? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. As a disappointing day for Tabor, but Tabor looking to continue to move forward. I'm